We're coming to you from Cartersville, Georgia today. We're doing our first interview with Jeff Brewer, a bass player extraordinaire. Jeff, if you could just give us a rundown of your beginnings. Where did it start?
Well, I was born a child uh, to my mom and dad. They had me there in 1975, and kind of grew up around the music. And my daddy was a preacher and grew up in church playing music here.
What are you currently playing?
Uh, well, nothing right now. I ain't got no instruments on me.
When you play,
Yeah,
what are you playing?
music.
Okay.
Did you mean something else? It seemed like you didn't get the answer you wanted.
No. No. Well, we'll go to the next question.
Okay.
Who would you consider the best band you've played with?
Oh, I played in several. My favorite bands that I work with are the church bands, the musicians there, that top notch.
Is there a musician that you just stands out to you as far as goes above and beyond? Just incredible musician.
Oh yeah. um. yeah. Yeah, me.
How many fans do you think you have?
Several.
How many Facebook fans do you have?
Uh,
Social media. How many followers does Jeff Brewer have?
1,000 or so, probably.
On a day-to-day basis in Cartersville, do people come up to you and just beg for your autograph when you're in the middle of a meal or
No.
just running about through town, or do they kind of leave you alone now?
Now that I've gotten a little older, they leave me alone. There was a time here when folks would recognize me. Every now and then, people still come up and say hello and say, "Hey, ain't you the guy that had a young girl here a while back a few weeks ago asked me, said, hey, aren't you that older guy that plays with Dave's Bayou?" And I heard a little.
Your brother-in-law heard a rumor that you played with Tim McGraw.
There's no truth to that.
No truth to that. Sadly.
Sadly.
Jeff, what would you consider...
But I got a little cowboy in me. Little cowboy. Anyway, go ahead.
What would you consider your favorite song to play?
Will it go around in circles?
Can you sing us a little bit of it?
No, I don't really know it that well, but I played it.
Oh.
I don't really know much of the songs that I play. I just focus there on that bass part. I don't sing much.
Do you overplay it all?
No, I play exactly what needs to be played every time. People overplaying seems like they just want to show off, and that kind of takes away from the song a little bit. I think less is more. I'm a less is more kind of guy.
How much time would you say that you devote to practicing?
Lots.
For these gigs.
A lot. I try to do as many rehearsals as I can. It's good when I get it. When I know there's a date coming up that I've got a gig, especially if it's with somebody that I've only worked with 4 or 5 times. I like to get their set list at least 2 weeks in advance. Go through it, learn them songs good, inside and out, and then make final adjustments the week before, a couple of days before, at the very latest, and then have everything ironed out so that when I show up on the gig.
I mean, you pretty much require
Absolutely
practices, correct?
Absolutely.
You even
I won't take a gig
forego getting paid for the rehearsals because you'd rather just
it's
practice.
about the music. It's about the music. I don't really do any of this for money. It's about the music.
There was a nickname that we heard that you had gotten a while back called No Show Bo. Where did this come from?
Well, now, I had an uncle named Bo. Actually, his name was Zolas. Then his name was Johnny. But the grandkids couldn't, or the kids couldn't call him Zolas. So they called him Bo, and it just kind of...
Bozo.
No.
Zolas. Bo Zolas.
No, Bo. Bo Brewer. Great musician. But I don't know about that no-show part. I always show up on my gigs.
So possibly getting them confused with...
They might have been confused with somebody else. I don't know who that no-show
What is a nickname that you have acquired? That
Boogie.
Boogie. That describes you.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Well, when I was a little boy, I used to be afraid of the dark. And
Touching.
touching what?
Your story. It's touching.
Oh. Well, when I was little, my grandfather, he'd tell me that, if I didn't behave or I, misbehaved, that the boogeyman would get me at night. So one night I had done something bad and I was laying in bed crying, and my dad heard me. He said, "Son, why don't you come in there and turn the light on? What are you doing?" I told him, I said, "Well, I'm scared. The boogeyman's going to get me." And he told me, he said, "There's no such thing as the boogeyman." He said, "From now on, you can be the boogeyman." He started calling me Boogie, and a lot of the folks there that really know me, not as a musician, but as a person, because, most people know me as the musician. Not many people know me as the person, because you reach a level like mine, people kind of hang around you for what you are, not who you are, or who you are, not what you are. Anyway, because you got a big name and all that, you have to be real careful who you.
Under the big name, what would you say is not really shown? What would people not know about you? I've also in my notes, you have a love for cats. That's something that people wouldn't probably know. You have about 10. Is that correct?
I love pussy cats. I grew up with, I had one named Muffin, had one named Boots, had cute little white boots there on his, look like boots. Little thing there on his nose. Cute little cats. I love cats. Big Persian cats. Had a calico cat one time called a Callie. I know that's real original. I like a cat.
What else would those around you that just are so in love with you music-wise?
Mm-hmm.
Your talent.
Sure.
What would they not know about you?
I'm very sensitive. Very sensitive. I used to be a youth pastor. Do a lot of reading in the Bible, a lot of studying. I stay in that Word.
Would you say that it's one thing to know the Word and another thing to act upon the Word?
No. They go hand in hand. If you know the Word, you kind of go by it. The Bible said, "When you bring up a child in the way it should go, and it grows old, it won't depart from it." I kind of stick to that. That's what I like to do. So I know the Word.
I'm a little surprised that my phone's not catching on fire right now.
Why's that?
Jeff, other than music, what are some of your other hobbies?
Well, I like to spend a lot of time with my family. I like to ride bikes, play outside. I like to build things. I like to work with my hands. I like to work on cars, build things. I like to play a little golf. I'm a pretty athletic fellow.
The cars that you've worked on.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, I once changed a flat tire. Sometimes you have to maybe change the oil in one.
You do that yourself?
No, they got people that do
Okay.
it, but I take it down there to them. I like doing that.
Okay.
I like to cook. I love to cook.
What do you enjoy cooking?
Well, this morning I made a little French toast.
How was it?
Oh, it tastes like ass. Nobody ate it but me.
Jeff, your fans.
Let's call them friends. I don't have fans. I have friends.
Some call you pompous. Arrogant.
I don't know why they'd say these things.
Big-headed.
Why is it? It's big head. It's,
It is rather cone-headish.
you know what they say about cone-headish? That's the worst interview I've ever had. Coming to
Your crib.
my home, my place of peace, and insult me by the size of my head. But I wear a big hat. Carry on.
What would you say to those fans that call you pompous?
Well, they just haven't got a chance to know me. Really, I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I like to welcome everybody to get a chance. That's the reason for these interviews. Things like this. I do things for the little people to let them know, you know, that I'm one of them sometimes.
Will you do more meet and greets in the future?
I try to keep them to a minimum.
If you could, pretty soon do a giveaway of another meet and greet to a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many.
Sure.
They do enjoy that. Jeff Brewer, it's been nice. It's been great, honestly. This has been one of the best interviews we've had. It's our first interview and it's our last interview. And it's the best one we've had so far.
I can't see how it get no different.
I don't understand what you just said. It was good having you on the show,
Oh, it's
Jeff.
been a pleasure.
Sober up and we'll see you tomorrow.